Okay, let's see some roles and let's see some targets for this. Stakeholder, sponsor engagement. Sponsors, sensei, and targets. Targets are people, not the defined targets are people whom are actually involved in doing those kaizens, okay? Let's see the sponsor's role here. And this has been written out of experience. You can have a view on this. You can correct it as per what you feel is befitting. But I am sharing my experience in this purely, okay? What is the sponsor's role to solicit feedback? Model a confident and constructive view of change. This is deeper understanding, okay? So that you get clarity on the role of each and every person. Sponsor's role is to monitor and readjust priorities and allocate resources. Do you agree? Sponsor should show personal support, both public and private, throughout the change. Sponsor's role is to acknowledge what people are experiencing and give opportunities to express. Okay, who is the sponsor? Anybody can be the sponsor, but typically the head of the organization is a sponsor. Okay, management, top leader. That's right. Oh, sponsor is not ad sponsors. Okay. Okay. Okay, I think that's also needs to be clarified. Okay, understand the need for change, help others design the future state, and reward and recognition system. Such an important thing is comes as a sponsor's role. You may not be clear in the first shot of this. Please go through this slide and get the clarity. Can I move on to the next slide? And sponsors also hold change agents and targets accountable. Okay, so if you have any doubts, you can take the picture of this and then we will discuss towards the end. Okay, let me move to the sensei. Who is a sensei? What is your understanding of a sensei? What is your understanding of a sensei? Okay, sensei in Japanese means a teacher. Okay. So sensei's role is to integrate the change into the culture. And sensei is the teacher, like we coaches also, right? Coaches are also senseis. We modify the time frame and resources as needed because we know what is the pace in which it can be implemented, the speed at which it is implemented, the momentum in which it can be implemented. Sensei's role is to plan and implement communication, education, training, and reward strategies. This is straightforward, okay? And if there is resource changes, then sensei's role is also to manage the change resources. Very, very important role this is. Communicate the change very clearly and constantly. Sensei's role is to involve the targets in planning wherever is possible. And somebody from within your organization can also play the sensei role. Okay, it's not necessary consultant should come from outside, but there are huge advantages of somebody coming from outside in this journey. Okay, there are huge advantages, and you might have people who are experienced will know those advantages also. That's why a coach is not a player. If you see the coach in a match, the coach generally is not a player himself, is a coach. The captain is a person who plays the match, but the coach never plays a match, right? He would have played the match. Okay, understand the need for change and the impact on all involved, and exhibit leader behavior and create dissatisfaction with status quo. All right. So let me move on to the next role. I hope you are finding it useful because I've tried to put some pointers so that there's some thought clarity as far as roles is concerned. Because when you're planning to implement the Kaizen structure, you should also know for sure. Okay, and those people who are doing it, the targets. Successful changes begins with understanding the targets of change. Be concerned that they don't have enough skills or resources. Sometimes you find there is a lack of skill, there is a lack of resource. Don't be complacent. I see some of the management behaviors that you have to be very concerned if you're not supporting them with skills, upskilling, or resources. Feel self-cautious and get uncomfortable when confronted by change. They try to go back to doing things the right way when the pressure is off. Typically, the targets are all, the operator, supervisors, even managers. Try to go back to the things that is the right way when the pressure is off. And each of them will be at a different level of readiness for change. And each of them will be able to handle only so much of change. In fact, I've written this over many, many years of implementation. I think I'm looking for a better word for target, okay? The word target may be a little confusing here. Feel alone even if everyone else is going through the change. When I say targets, actually, let's say the people who actually cause the change or bring in improvements, the people who implement the Kaizens, let's say, those I call them targets. The Kaizen team, okay? The Kaizen team, let's say, or all the other people. Actually, this is a team who does think first about what they have to give up rather than what they get. Okay, because generally teams, what they think is, okay, what will I get if I do this improvement? So they'll have to think about what they'll have to give up.